Hi, Monica.
Yeah, hi Dev.
Hi. First things first, how are you?
I'm doing absolutely well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, Monica ji, I'll just give everyone a small flashback of how we met. I've done a podcast before with your daughter, Prachi Nagpal. Now I think the surname is changed because she's
Yes,
married.
yes.
And then I've got to know about you. And I think back then I told her that I'd love to do a podcast with your mom as well. But then it's been so many months now. But
Absolutely.
finally you're here. I'm really,
Yes.
really happy.
I'm
Uh,
looking forward for it. Yes.
Right, and the best part is you do so many things that I actually done my research, but then you do so many things that I keep on forgetting. What all you do. But having said that, I think today's episode would be really special. One is because the kind of insights that you're going to bring in. I'm just excited to ask you so many questions and want to learn many things from you. And I'm sure our audience they would find it very insightful today.
Yes.
So we'll directly deep dive into this question that's been bothering me for quite some time now. First things first, I've gone through your book and I have so many questions from this. The very first question that I really want to understand is what exactly is leading with a pause? Is it just whenever you're angry, take a pause? Because we talk, right? Whenever you're angry, just take a 10-second gap, count from 10 to 1,
Yes.
something like
Reverse
that.
counting.
Right. So I want to understand, I want to deep dive
Yes.
what is it about, what is leading with a pause.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dev, for having me here today. And I will really be fortunate to be able to tell about my book and so many things that I have been doing at this age that is most important for me to
Right,
share also.
right.
So, leading with the pause is part of what I'm actually doing, which is my radical pause. Yeah, I call myself as a radical pause coach. So, radical pause meaning that pause is sometimes which we get in our life. No, we get sick. We are getting a pause in our life.
Right.
We may have an accident. We are having a pause. We may have a relationship issue, and we are on a pause. But those are pause which the life gives you. But a radical pause is something which you take intentionally. And that is what actually is important today because we all are just running. And that running is becoming a badge of honor. Like busyness is a badge of honor that I'm busy.
Right,
No,
right, right.
so
It's
coming
a, it's
from
a,
there.
it feels like a personal attack to me because I'm doing 100 podcasts in 100 days and I'm
Okay.
running. Yeah.
Yeah, so you should take a pause, right? That is very, very important because that is where we tend to get that stressed out. If you will understand that what is the cause of stress which is happening in so many youth, even corporate people, they are all very nicely they have coined a word burnout. So they are not able to see that burnout. If they could actually see what is burning, they would have actually stopped and paused. But they're not seeing. They just a
It's
word.
internal. Right,
Yeah, it is
right.
so internal. They're not able to see the burnout. No, so it is important. That is why. So this is the radical pause: is to take that intentional break, intentional slowing down. That is what we call the radical pause.
Right. I have a couple of questions to this. First things first is before understanding what exactly you do, like how do you help people through radical pause? I want to tell you a fact that which I recently researched. I found out that 61% of senior professional reported chronic stress. This is through a research done by Deloitte,
Correct.
right? And I really want to understand when you just mentioned about burnout, you told that we don't see the burning, practically what's actually happening inside. But I want to understand how does it look like when we talk about burnout? How does it look like? What is it actually doing to us? But at the same time, when we see these kind of reports that 61% of people are, they're reportedly having burnouts or let's say chronic stress, and which is a huge number again,
Absolutely,
right? I want to
absolutely.
understand why is it happening? What is the core reason behind it?
So they've again coming back to not even that. We have seen in especially 24-25, we have seen uh, deaths happening, people working out.
Right.
Most healthiest
Right.
of the
Even the
persons,
right.
celebrities who have been working out so beautifully, they have good healthy bodies, they had no vices, so to speak, and still they died young 35, 40, 42, 45, and they're gone. So what is that is bringing about all of this in spite of all of this? Because these corporate people also think that I am going to gym. The gym is there already in the office.
Right.
I am going to the gym. I am eating healthy food which is also served in the office, and I'm getting a handsome salary. So I am like I'm having a good life. So there's no stress as such there. But still, that kind of a burnout, that stress, which is manifested in your relationships, your irritation, all of that is manifested, and most of what it comes in your health. Then when you go for your annual checkups, that is where it is seen that what is happening inside, and most of the things start from your gut, because you are now very frankly not be able to digest properly. You are eating out, you think
The
it is
tolerance is increasing.
tolerance, you are
Lactose,
thinking
gluten.
absolutely, all of that is happening. So this is all the result of stress, and that is happening, which we have found out in the studies also, is lack of sleep. The timings are increased so much, office hours, and then you think I need a me time. And what is that me time? That me time is scrolling.
Right.
The screen again. You had screen already in the office,
Right.
and then you come back and you want your me time, and that is also again another screen. And for that you are actually not sleeping on time. You're sacrificing your sleep, and that is where the stress starts to build in, because they say, okay, on a weekend you say, oh, I'll sleep on a weekend, and you just sleep on a weekend. But that is not the solution. Because one day sleep lost is already lost. You cannot recover that. You cannot make up for it. Okay. So this is a very important thing to understand for stress.
Right. So I just love the fact that you mentioned that corporates nowadays they have gyms and they're also encouraging healthy lifestyle or healthy food, but it's still not helping. You just mentioned. What is the actual problem and what is the solution then? If stress is the actual problem, what is the solution?
So stress is because they are not able to integrate that work life. No. Okay. There are big companies who are actually helping them to have some team meetings, and they are taking them to outside for all of that.
But does that work?
That is where okay, you are meeting the team again. You met the team for the whole month, and then again you went out and you met the team only. Team building activities are happening. But then where is the family? The sourness in those relationships is coming because where is the family?
Okay.
So I had gone for one of my exhibitions to one of the MNCs, big ones, and it was amazing. Like, I have not worked in a corporate, so I had not known of all of that. But then when I went there, it was so wonderful. The atmosphere, the eating, everything was so wonderful. And they say, yeah, this is how we work here. I said, then why do you need to go back home? That is why you're not going back home. Because you are getting everything here. And that is why the relationships are getting sour.
So you mean companies who are actually trying to do something good for their employees is actually backfiring?
It is not good for the employees, Dave. It is good for them. Because when the employees are doing all of that, they are giving more efficiently to the company. The company is prospering. But you know what?
Achha. Right. Okay, let's say, I also run an organization myself. I do have, and of course, you also run your own foundation, you also run your own academy. Then what role should a corporate company, or let's say, what role should a business owner must play to take care of their employees in terms of their stress, regulation of their stress, regulation of their emotions? What role does a corporate play? Because sadly, whichever you have mentioned, many organizations have been doing. Every day I see a picture from a certain organization that we have done this, we have done that.
Correct.
But if it's not helping, and if it's actually backfiring, or it's helping the enterprise, then how can a company actually take a stand and actually start helping their employees?
So that is what I have mentioned actually in my book, Leading with Pause. That how a leader should be. What is the actual meaning of a leader? No? A leader is the one who is actually leading with example and leading with presence. A leader is not somebody who is rushing to tell that, okay, this much has to be done. No. With their presence, how that leader is helping the other person to have that kind of a balance in their emotions. Most importantly, how the leader is helping the team leader or whatever the team he has, how he is helping to be themselves, not to become something which they are not intrinsically.
Okay.
No, that is why you lead with presence.
Right.
You are authentic and you are helping other person to be authentic. There is somebody who is very good at something, but you want that person to be good in something else. And that is where the stress comes in, because that person is not intrinsically made out to do that thing, but you are expecting that person to do something else. And that is where the whole stress comes in. But if you are so authentic and you are so genuine, you are saying that, okay, you are very good here and I will get your work done from this part of it. Right? So how does a leader become like that? That is the important thing.
Right.
How do I become a leader who is going with presence? So I can share a story also here that one of my clients, he was very agitated all the times, like,
Okay.
no, because of stress again. Everything is put on stress.
Right.
No, so he was stressed because things were not moving according to what he wanted to do. And so when we started to work together and I introduced pause to him, slowly he started to change his behavior. His relationships changed with his family, first with himself, right? So then after a 10-week of coaching, he had a meeting in his office. And then they found out that there is a severe something is wrong with what the figures are sharing and what actually is the thing. So it is not in alignment. And then at that moment he told me the story back again then, that somebody showed us this. And if he was an older one, he would have just fired and said, you are the one who has done this, you are the one. Like, he kept on blaming, he would have done that.
Right.
But that day he said, I just did not do all of that. I just stood there, I took a deep breath and I said, okay, let's find out the solution. So instead of delving on the problem, he immediately went to the solution. And that pause which he took helped everybody relax. And they all went back and it was just a case of miscommunication. And things were resolved in a jiffy.
Right.
So this is how that one pause helps.
Right.
And this is how, when you start to lead with that example, no, this is how it just changed the whole thing.
But does it happen to, I mean, does this work for everyone, for all age groups?
Of course, every age group. Because today, Gen Z, what we are calling them,
Right.
but I feel that they are little more intelligent, not knowledge-wise, but they're also very wise.
Okay.
They are wiser than their elders, sometimes I feel.
Okay.
Because they have that kind of exposure, they have that kind of a sense of what is rewarding and what is not rewarding. So they are actually, because otherwise, if you are seeing that they are not just, they are the ones who are actually going all out and building so many things now, right? So if they are not being able to do all of that, we would have not seen that the children are today becoming the future of the next century. Right. So it is nothing to do with that pause is only for those corporate 40 people who are at 40, but a pause is for everybody.
Right.
And these people are actually taking that. So there are few who are not able to control.
There are
so
also
to
some
say.
cases.
There are
okay.
some.
So some people, I mean, this is not applicable to everyone. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, it is applicable to everybody, but not everybody is following it.
Correct. Okay.
Not everybody believes in this.
Right.
Right? They are not believing that for them pause is a slowing down, and they will lose in that race.
Right.
Like the tortoise and the rabbit race, you remember?
Right. I was going through your LinkedIn, and I've come across this post where you mentioned that you help people to regain confidence even at the age of, let's say, 60 as well, and it's not too late. I want to understand that aspect. Is it true that we can actually lose confidence? I mean, losing confidence is, I don't know how does it happen, but then I want to understand first things first, the psychology behind losing confidence, right? Because when I was a kid, or when anyone is a kid, I'm sure even now when I look at kids very young, they have all this confidence, right? They shout in the malls and they do everything. They nag their parents. They start beating up and all of that, and they really don't care what's your height, what's your color, what's everything, etc. All the internal things that builds up as insecurity later point of time. But then they don't have any of it. They are very confident. But then slowly as we age, of course, we I don't know. I mean, I always thought that knowledge is enlightenment, but I don't know, somehow when we start gaining this knowledge, this worldly knowledge, we lose confidence. Not most, but many. But I mean, not everyone, but many. But I want to understand, how does it happen, right? When you are a kid and you have all this confidence, but then slowly you just start losing it. So I want to understand this aspect. What's the psychology behind losing confidence? And the LinkedIn post that you've written, that it's not too late, you can gain confidence even at the age of 60. I want to understand, how does that work?
So there are 2 points here, Dave. I would like to highlight here. Okay, so a child shouting in the mall, or going against the parents, or doing whatever the child wants, is not confidence. Okay, we label that child a confidence who is able to do anything, like a brat. No?
Right.
But that is not confidence.
कहीं से कहाँ खींच लिया, कहाँ से कुछ कर लिया. हाँ जी.
If some child you are walking past and the child comes and snatches your bag, that is not confidence. Right. So we have to understand, as parents, that is where we have to understand that what is confidence actually, and what is a behavior which is a kind of a behavior issue. Because as we grow up, you are saying we lose confidence because of the knowledge that we gain.
Right.
Because we understand that, okay, this is the behavior which is not accepted, and this is the behavior which is accepted.
And sometimes you don't fall into the behavior
Correct.
that is accepted.
Which is the unacceptable behavior, you leave that. Because you had thought, or your society or your parents had thought that was confidence. But that was unacceptable behavior, which you got to know because you got wiser. And that is why you left that behavior. Your confidence is something else today.
Right.
So just speaking in the public also is not confidence. Sometimes you need confidence to be quiet in that moment. When there is so much happening around you, and you're confident that your silence is going to speak more than your words. That is the confidence. So public speaking, you need confidence. Of course, you need confidence when you are speaking on a platform. You need to be speaking coherently. You need to be clear and focused in what you're going to speak. So these are the things which can be learned. Communication skills can be learned, but confidence is something which can be inculcated also at 60 also, with lot of, because if you've heard about neuroplasticity,
Right.
So that is a concept which has helped a lot of people to understand that it is never too late. Right? And as we age also, it doesn't stop.
Okay.
Your neurons.
But does it slow down?
Your neurons continue to hook each other.
Okay. So neuroplasticity doesn't slow down as well.
It will slow down if you are again stagnant.
Okay. Understood.
That is why it is so important to be active, not only physically but mentally, as if even if you are aging.
Okay.
So when we have now, there are people who are CEOs at 60, 65, so to say, are leaders who are 70 plus. They are running the nation, and they are all 70 plus. So how do you say that it slows down?
Right. Wow. Okay.
right? So it doesn't slow down. It is how much can you activate it all the time. And pause is one thing. So I will keep on saying about pause because that is what actually is the solution for so many things. I'm not saying the everything, but yes, it is solution for so many things.
Right. But I want to understand, why do we lose confidence? Or is it like, is it inbuilt when we are born, or is it a phenomena that happens afterwards?
So that is the second point which I wanted to bring about, is that we lose confidence. Why? Because there is so much of criticism then. When you are overly criticized for so long, like from your parents, so you are not confident because over the period of time, probably you were criticized. Your parents, your teachers wanted you to be perfect, and they continued to criticize you for something.
Right.
And that is going into your subconscious mind. And you stop speaking. Right? Because you get that belief, your inner chatter starts that, okay, I'm not good enough. And that is what is happening with so many children. And as they grow up into a youth, with this belief system that I'm not good enough, they take radical steps. And then they go into depression. And this vicious circle starts to continue then.
Right. But, one small thing I want to just ask here. 70% of senior professionals today, they're still afraid of talking in front of, let's say, 50 to 100 people or gathering, right? When someone, let's say at the age of 50 and 60, I'd want to understand, why would this happen to a 42, 50 or 60-year-old as well? Because I understand for kids, for teens, I get it. But why does it happen to senior professionals as well, who are so good at, their work?
No, they're good at work. But again, the sense of validation that if I speak something wrong, so my image is at risk if I say something wrong. That is the most important thing for them, their image. So that should not be severed, because they think that if I say something wrong here, that will reflect on what my knowledge or wisdom is. But actually that is not true. Language, we think that okay, if we are speaking only in one particular language, अगर हम हिंदी में बात करेंगे तो हम कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है, अगर हम इंग्लिश में बात करेंगे तो ही हम कॉन्फिडेंस दिखा सकते हैं.
Correct.
Again, that is not true.
Right, of course.
No, whatever your language, you can speak in that.
Right. No, I always tell this to my friends as well. If you do not know a certain language, you don't have to talk in that language. Even though the other person is trying to speak in other language, if you're not comfortable, let them know that I'm not comfortable. Can I talk in the language that I'm comfortable?
Correct.
And I've also mentioned that if you don't have a common language, have a translator.
Yes.
कि भाई थोड़ा help कर दे. But never be someone who you are not, because that's when lots of insecurities come out again.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Right.
So this is where we have to understand this.
Wow, this is very powerful. But having said that, I'll just go back to stress again. When we talk about, let's say, someone who's earning, let's say, I'll be very brutally honest here. Let's say someone is earning 3 lakhs per annum and he's stressed out, or she's stressed out that I'm earning little low and all of that, etc. So I can understand that. But then recent research that I've done, I found out that the suicide rates are higher in senior professionals, in senior executives, right? And their salary range comes anywhere between 50 LPA to 1 crore or more than that as well. So I want to understand this part. What role does money play here in terms of being stressed, or why is it actually happening? Why is more suicide rates are from senior executives? Why is this happening?
So it is a very general thing actually. It is nothing which is having any concrete evidence, because it can be either this way or that way. But as per what I can think about it is that at that stage when you have reached, when you have everything in your life, and you still are seeking validation, and you still are going after perfection. Because then you think that okay, I am now perfect, I've done this much, but still there's more to come and I need to be more perfect. And when that is not happening, that is when you feel that okay, I'm not worth it, so it is better to end my life. Because I had this kind of a reputation, I have done this much, but now it's not worth it. So that self-worth, as soon as I lose my self-worth, I don't want to live. And that is where resilience comes in. So when we talk about people who have nothing, no, if you have a question regarding happiness, I would love to talk about that also, that what is happiness actually, no? If happiness is coming with money, then that rickshaw puller will not smile. Have you ever seen, like I always wonder when I see a couple on a bicycle and they're so happily going, that lady with the gajra and the man is so happy taking the wife. Or on a beach you see children just not having much on their body, but they're so happy playing in the beach side. So happiness is nothing to do with money. That is one thing which we all need to understand. We are running after money so that we can be happy.
Right.
But happiness is all within. And it has nothing to do with money. So as you have risen with money, that resilience starts to be less. I cannot go, like we are so caught in those brands, then if I don't get this, that means I'm not up to the mark because I don't own this brand of vehicle or phone or watches or whatever. Or if I have not done that kind of a vacation. So that is where the youth is getting all the influence, I can say. And social media, if we talk on that, then it is going to be a different podcast altogether.
Right.
Yes.
One question I'm very curious. How would you help someone who's at 60, who's a senior executive, rebuild their confidence again? Let's say someone is going through a lot and is on the verge of breaking down. How are you going to help them?
So what kind of a support system you have at 60? That is important. Because it is a pyramid and you are on the top. And it is very lonely on the top.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? So when you don't have that support system, you don't have that connections, that is when you start to lose yourself. And that is important. So how will we help them as a coach or as a therapist to help them to find the best company? And who is the best company? You yourself are your best company.
Right.
So you have to understand that I am my best company. Because at 60 you would have, if you would have lost your spouse, then that loneliness has crept in. Your children are away because you have skilled them, upskilled them, and they have flown away to different countries. Probably your friends have lost their lives. They are just, you're losing your friends. So that is why at that age it is so difficult sometimes to be a little balanced state of mind. And it is a kind of a retiring age. And you, that is again a sword hanging on your head, that I will be retiring soon. So what will I do? I have had a hectic life all these years. 35 years probably I was just running. Now what will I do?
Right.
So to helping them to understand them that, okay, now is the time for contribution. How will you become a contributive citizen of the world?
Wow.
You can go to an orphanage, you can go to an old age home, you find friends there, and your loneliness is gone.
Right.
So find a purpose. That is the solution.
Have you had these kind of clients before, and how's everything with them? Have you coached them before? Because you're a life coach, so I want to understand. Have you coached? And if at all, can you give me a real example of a transformation? How did you change someone's life?
So there was a woman actually. She had lost her husband, and as I said,
age can you mention?
She was like 58, and she had lost her husband. I think 10 years back. So she was as such also not having that kind of a support system at home. And children had gone to studies. And she was at a top position in her company. So she had come with lot of health issues.
Okay.
and she had gone to every doctor, and they couldn't find any symptomatic issue. So it was more psychosomatic. It was not a physical ailment, so to say. It was a psychosomatic thing.
Right, right.
No, she was not having good digestion because it was stress related.
Right.
It was nothing to do with what you have eaten and what have you have not eaten. She was eating good, healthy food, doing yoga, everything. But that loneliness had started to creep in.
You know, I really believe that we all don't understand. I mean, not we, of course, you understand. But I think many of us don't understand the importance of companionship.
Yes.
The importance of a
Yes.
partner.
Yes.
You know, not necessarily married ones, but I mean, you know, not your
Any-
partner, but
yes,
any
yes.
companionship.
I also am very in for marriage.
Right, right. Would you do it again?
That we can have another podcast for that.
Right, right. And how did you help them?
So when
help her.
So when she was there with me, so slowly that one week after another we started to unfold. Okay, this is your problem, that you have digestion problems. So let's see what is helping all of this. And then I went back to her scenarios and everything. And then I helped. Okay, one thing which you can start doing is to start to feed any dog if there is there somebody, because she seemed to be a dog lover.
Right.
So I just said the first step you can do is just to feed a dog, and she didn't have time because she was working so hard. So I said, whatever, anywhere you find somebody, you carry that pet food with you in your car, and if you find somewhere, you can just give that. And slowly after 2 weeks, she said that there's a dog who waits for her now.
Right.
So that connection started to build up for her.
Right. I also have a dog who always waits the moment I open the gate.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm also a pet mom.
Right. Of course.
So that is where the transition started to happen for her. So she understood it is because of that lack of connection that is what is actually not helping her to stay in the right mood or the right efficiency that she wants to be.
Right.
And then I said, okay, you have an office and you see that you are the senior most. And because I'm senior most, I should not mingle with my fellow team members. But then that is where I tell in my book also that you are a compassionate leader. A compassionate leader would know what is happening in the lives of my team members also. Because they are not here only in the office. They are somebody who is also in the home.
Right. He's also someone's brother, husband.
Yes. And that is where the whole transformation happened for her. She wanted to talk to them regarding that. Because we feel that we become vulnerable. No, the people will not respect me or not obey me if I talk too much to them.
Right. You know, thank you for sharing the story, but you know, I think I've somehow forgot to ask the most important question is how are you at your age, right, have started this? I think that should be the main question. Because you have found your purpose now. You're so passionate. I've been talking to you off camera for some time now, and I feel like you're not stopping anytime soon. Right? And of course you shouldn't as well, God willing. But I want to understand, how did you get into this? How did you know that this is your calling, this is your purpose?
Right, Dev. So thank you so much for that question. That is one question I really love to answer always.
Right.
Because you always go back to where you began, right? So it was, I have been following up philosophy for a very long time now, 2 decades. I had been educated to be professor or a kind of a lecturer in the college, but due to my circumstances at home, I was not able to do that. So the life just went by, and I was following this practice, which actually gave me that resilience to be what I am today, to never give up on myself, and that happened. But then when COVID came, 2020. That is when I felt that people who were running are just there. They have paused. The nature had paused all of us. It was the biggest pause the humanity had at that time. And that kept me thinking. At that time, I wanted to become a coach then, because I had already read so much in this philosophy, and I was able to help so many people elevate their suffering. So I thought, why not people at that time were really suffering. They physically, mentally, they were suffering. So why should I not lend some hand? And that is where I opened my first endeavor, that was hope and happiness. So the word says it all, that to give hope and happiness to the people around me. And it was just volunteering. I was not.
What was it all about? Like
it
what
was all
exactly?
about. So I started to do some webinars,
Okay.
open webinars for parents. I did a parenting certification, parenting coaching certification, and then I did a course on happiness and mindfulness. And then I thought, okay, I was seeing that people want a coach. So I said, okay, let me also now become a coach,
Right.
a life
I'm
coach.
sorry to interrupt here. How did your family respond to this? When you started taking your certifications, courses, I'm sure
Yeah,
you would have your screen time on the laptop and all that.
absolutely,
And since it
absolutely.
was COVID, everything was online. So
Online.
how did your immediate family members
Yes,
react
the
to it?
family members were supportive, but then they also thought that why do you want to do all of this now?
Right.
Like you're having such a gala time sitting at home at this age,
Right.
half a century.
Right.
Why do you want to start it now?
Right.
Right. So I said no. This is what I feel is my calling now, and I want to really help people around me. So that is where contribution starts to come in. No, that is where I always talk about the contribution we're giving back to the society.
Right.
So when I started to now call up people regarding the course, the certification in these coaching institutes, they would ask me, what do you do? And I would tell them, I'm a homemaker. And then the voice would slow down and say, oh. So they were thinking, why will a homemaker want to be a coach now? And so it was like 7, 8, 9, 10 times the
How
same
did you
thing
deal
happened.
with that kind of feeling when you're? How does someone deal with that feeling when they are at their 50s?
Yeah, that is what. No, you feel that you are done. You have already done. You have raised your children. You have been a good homemaker, and that's it. Homemaker is a very civilized word. Actually, it is housewife. But
No, till 5th of my class, it was housewife. Now it's
yeah,
homemaker. Right.
yes, yes, yes. So that is why when the next time a call came, he asked, what do you do? I said, I do nothing. I just be. And he could understand nothing. And he rang.
Right.
He just kept the phone.
Right.
So that is where that pause came in. That it is in being that we are actually living. No, we are human beings, not human doings.
Wow.
Right? So this is what changed everything, and I became a pause coach.
Right. I want to understand this. I don't. I shouldn't be asking this question. It's not that of a dignified question, I would say. But then I still want to understand this part. There are lots of people who are very skeptic when we tell that I'm a life coach, or whenever there's a life coach, there's lots of skepticism. There's lots of criticism. How do you see this? How do you see onto all these debates? And of course, then I'll talk about you being a homemaker and the kind of reaction people had. I will definitely get into that as well.
So coaching business, and when you see there are so many coaches now around the world, no, and they are making money, huge money.
How much does a life coach earn though? I mean, I'm not
I
aware.
have I cannot say in any numbers because everybody will have their own numbers.
Okay, but what's the range? Like, what's the minimum to what's the maximum?
No, they say that we are earning in crores. That is how they are getting people into their programs.
Okay.
That we are earning crores. We got a first CR for us in this year. You can also get. Come join us.
Okay. No, I've been seeing actually these kind of advertisements very much.
Yes.
But doesn't that hamper the meaning of life coach itself? Because when you're doing these kind of publicity stunts.
So that is more of the program that they are putting up.
Right.
I don't know how much coaching they are actually doing, coaching, but programs they are doing very nicely.
Okay.
And people are falling for it.
Okay.
No, for these programs also they are giving so much of money. So that's fine. That is a different story altogether. But to understand that what is the importance of a coach in our life.
Yeah.
No, if you Google first thing, no, you will not get life coach. You will get a coach on the field coach.
Right.
If you Google a coach, what you will get?
Of course.
No, because we have known coaches only for
Sports part,
right? Though how do we coach a person? A life coach becomes a coach because who is coaching a life, not for a sport, but how to live your life. Or give something which is not which is more impactful to live a very impactful and fulfilled life, so to say. So coaching, if you think the coaching, sometimes when people come to me also, they feel that they want to ask solutions from me. So that is the difference, Dev, I want to bring about here is the counseling, therapy and coaching. What is the difference? Which people will not understand sometimes, and they just think it is a synonym for all of that, but it is not. So coaching is where we will help the person to bring out their own solutions.
Okay.
We are not advisors here.
Okay.
A therapist will have a proper therapy to be given for that whatever ailment or
different
issue
techniques.
that they will have different techniques to use that. And a counselor is also a counselor, again a psychologist who is counseling for whatever the behavior that you are having.
Right.
Basically the mental kind of a thing.
Mental
Therapy could be anything, you could get a therapy for anything. And coaching also then is coming for anything then. You can go to a life coach for anything in your life. And he or she will help you to find answers because the answers is within you.
Right.
To help us understand that because the question I have, answer also I have.
Right.
My life has my answers. So the coach is helping you to find those answers which is already there within you. And how does it happen? When you have, because we are fogged by our own limiting beliefs.
Right.
And when the coach helps you to just put out that fog, and you are able to see very clearly then. So it is like opening of your eyes.
Right. And I just want to understand this part. Now, since you're a coach, right? And as I mentioned earlier, again, there are lots of skepticism when it's a coach. I'm talking not from the point of view of coaches and coaches. I'm talking about someone who's a coach and someone who wants to get coached or be coached in life, of course. So I want to understand, how do you deal with that skepticism?
So skepticism comes in, like I am not a very big one to actually get into all of this.
No, you sure are. Yeah, you're being humble. I've seen your work. Your book is the bestseller of 2025. So,
but still, people will feel that, okay, first thing, I did a course in a certification from IBS. Sorry, ISB. So ISB, when I was in that course, everybody was so young and enterprising, and they were all entrepreneurs or working somewhere like that in big companies. I was the only person at this age who was in that one we had that. And the examples which I was giving, because of whatever the experiences that I have, and very relatable to the topics which we were doing at those moments. And they were really able to understand all of that more clearly. So that is what I feel, that it is sometimes when we are into that, we are not able to see the real problem. When you take a eagle's view, you are more able to see the problem. So if I'm not into the corporate, I can see from that eagle view that, okay, this is the issue.
Right.
Because in corporates also, it is the humans who are working. So it has nothing to do with what knowledge you have got in the university. It is, after all, being a human. And today a leader is one who is not skilled or more educated with more degrees, but who is more human.
Right. I was actually talking to a global HR head of Tech Mahindra, and he also mentioned the same thing, that leaders are the ones who are more human. Leaders are the ones who can make sure that the team is actually healthy, is actually working, and making sure that they are all right. And I think it takes lots of humane to actually be that kind of leader. And I really love how we are shifting, right? There's a
Yes.
tectonic shifts now. If you're talking about in terms of leadership,
Correct.
there's an amazing shift going on. Before, it was not the case.
Correct.
Being human was not the case of being a
Yes,
leader.
yes,
It was
yes.
completely different. It was about how
Yes.
commanding you are,
You're
how
right.
authoritative you are. Today, the landscape is changing, and I'm really, 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 loving it. One thing that I really want to understand is there's a difference between spirituality and being religious, right? I want to understand the difference of it, because I understand a bit, but I really don't think I completely know it. What is the difference between being spiritual and being religious?
Okay. So for youth today, it is very, very important to understand that. And I believe that if we are talking to any youth, being spiritual for them will be easier than being religious.
Okay.
Because they think that religious is being burdened to have some rituals to be followed. I'm not saying rituals are bad, they also get some discipline into your life, but sometimes they become a bondage, and that is where the youth don't want to be bonded by. But today, when I look at it, I am seeing so many youth in so many religious places. They are there because they need that anchor. Everybody needs an anchor. So they are also now trying to find this anchor. So there is a small going back into that field. But again, I am religious, so I become a fanatic. So what was the basis of forming a religion? Why did it came about? No, it was not there when humanity
Started?
Stone Age man didn't have any religion. No. So how did this came about? The religion was actually formed to have that harmony among the people, and okay, they had
The
some
unification, a certain sense of
some
belonging.
united. And today, where have we come? Today, religion has become the cause for disunity. The whole purpose of it is gone, and that is why when I'm talking about Gen Z as more wiser, because they don't get into all of that.
They don't come into this political division.
They don't come into anything. So that is where spirituality comes in. Being spiritual is not about being talking about religion or going to have some rituals, but just being that kind person, being that compassionate person, helping people. There are so many children who are doing so much today. Like we saw what happened when for the dogs the bill came out, and it was an uproar. And world over, if you are seeing what is happening, though it is very social media organized, but they are trying to bring about change which is based on what is happening to them for longest period of the time to bring about that change. Their ways may be little vary, but the core message, if we are able to understand what they want, that is what we have to understand. It is the spirituality. They want that equality for everybody. They actually need that people should be kind to each other.
Right.
That we should be able to give space to each other. So that is spirituality. Spirituality is not rituals.
It's not a division. It's not a boundary.
It is not a boundary.
Wow. I have asked this question to so many people in my entire life. This is by far the best answer I've ever gotten. I'm fumbling now because this is so profound for me. This is my aha moment. Thank you, Monica ji. Thank you so much. That's really beautiful. But having said that, there are lots of many questions that I have. One such question is addressing the elephant in the room. That would be our PLR.
Okay.
PLR is past life regression.
Right.
I am a bit skeptic as well. I'll be very honest, and I really, really need you to enlighten me. Just like Gautam Buddha enlightened humanity, I want you to please help me understand what is past life regression. Is it true, or is it just a facade? I really want to understand this, and I'm really sorry for the words that I'm using, because I really have problems, and I really don't know how exactly it works. So I really want you to enlighten me today.
Actually, so it is a kind of a therapy. So PLR is being taken as a therapy. It is past life regression therapy.
Okay.
So when you are not just going into your past life just to see, because just by seeing your past life is not making any difference to your life.
Okay.
But if you are taking it as a therapy, then we do certain things when we are taking any person to the past life. We are helping them to do healings there. And because of those healings, they are able to resolve the issues for which they are. So anybody who is going to a person who is doing a PLR just for the fun of it, then I should say we are not recommending that, because we also do a pre-talk. We do a kind of a scan or screening, you can say, to understand what is the purpose of that person, because we do this with intention.
Okay.
It is not done just for fun.
Okay.
It has a particular intention with which we will be able to take you to your past life.
Right. You know, when you say we'll take you to your past life, what does that mean?
So it is a process actually. So your subconscious mind is like that, you can say a cupboard or almirah, which stores everything from all your past lives. Okay. And you would have lived 600, 700 past lives. So if today you are having a relationship issue constantly, like a pattern with somebody, with everybody sometimes, and with some person who you feel that you really like that person, but still you have that kind of a issue with that person. Or probably you have any illness which is very, very repetitive. Or you have certain phobias which are miraculously treated in this. Water, snakes, something like that. So when we are able to tap into your subconscious for a particular life which would have caused this kind of a pattern in your life, and that is where we do the healing, and you are able to come out of that.
Does that mean, let's say, if I do it with intention, of course, would I be able to see who I was or what was I in my past life?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And what are the repercussions after it?
There's no repercussions. There's one point here, that there are past life regression which is done through hypnosis.
Okay.
So when we are doing through hypnosis, sometimes we go into hallucinations.
Okay.
But what I practice, which my master has taught me, is through meditation.
Okay.
So we take this person, we activate their subconscious mind with meditation, and so that person is conscious. Like you are not going in some other realm. You are here only, in this realm only. But you are activated your subconscious mind through meditation, and you are able to visualize that. So important is that you are a visual person. You are not a kinesthetic person. So when you are a visual person, you are able to see whatever is happening, and we come to certain conclusions from there.
Right. Is it backed by science by any chance?
So subconscious, so again there is a small thin line again.
Right,
psychology, mind versus brain. Where is my mind?
Right.
And where is your brain?
Right.
Brain is a organ. But your heart could have your mind, your gut has a mind. So we always say that mind has 3 places in our body. We have gut feeling, no? So gut has also a mind. Our heart has also a mind, and then our brain also has a mind.
Right.
So mind is what the science is not able to justify. So similarly, therapies are there. So it is backed by that we are able to activate your subconscious mind.
Okay. Right. I have a question. I know it would be a little funny to ask, but then I really want to ask. Let's say, I mean, if we really believe in, let's say, birth and rebirths and all of that, can someone be a cat, for example, in their past life, right?
Yes.
And then they can come to this life as a human form, and then let's say you do this past life regression with them. Would they be able to subconsciously go back to that life as well? Any chance?
So they may I have not got a client as such, but
Yeah,
my
okay.
colleagues, they have shared that they have been clients who have been birds sometimes in the past life, and so they have to then switch to different life then, because that
Right.
bird will not able to tell anything,
Right,
and
right,
that the
right.
issue which they have. So subconsciously, sometimes your subconscious takes you to some life which may not be that relevant at that moment. So
right.
then we have to switch to the other life.
Is there a way, I mean, can this happen as well? This is a question again. Can your client lie to you as well?
So they will not be able to lie because they are speaking from their subconscious mind, and your subconscious is not
Okay.
lying.
Acha, okay, okay. You have done this.
Yes, yes.
Can you share any? I'm really so I'm just curious. Can you share any story or something? You don't have to take the names of the
Yeah,
client, but
yeah,
then
of course, of
some
course.
one story I would want to understand what was the problem they were facing and how did you take them into that process, the whole method, and then how did they come out and then they started healing and how did you help them
So
heal?
generally speaking, I will say generally speaking, not
huh.
about a particular, because if they may listen also, they may
Right.
think that why we were talking about them. But
Right,
generally speaking, for example, uh, if you have a pain in your leg,
Okay.
which is not because you have had an accident, not because you had some ailment there,
For any medical issue.
nothing,
Okay. Okay.
nothing. But one of your leg is constantly paining,
All right.
correct? So when we have taken such people to their past life, what we have found is that they were actually probably beaten on that leg so many times in then one of the past lives. So that pain was there.
Okay.
So what didn't happen is that when we are at the last moment of our death, the death moment is there. At that moment, you have carried that pain with you to the next life.
Okay.
So what we do, we help people to cut it off.
Okay.
That you don't carry that pain from that life to this.
Right.
And this person, as soon as he was done that, when he woke up,
Right.
next day they called and they said there's no pain.
How much time does it take to heal?
So
Like for the whole
whole
process to be done,
session
yeah.
session usually, because it is very tiring to go after 3 lives. So usually we go up to 3 life.
Okay.
So that takes about 2.5 hours or so. So it is a long patience. You have to take that.
Right. And in just one session, it's not repetitive. In just one sessions, you are able to.
Mostly, like for me, all my clients have been able to give in 2 to 3 lifetimes. They have been able to get the answers.
Right. In the first session itself.
First session, yeah, first session itself. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. This is amazing.
You can try.
I'd love to try myself.
Yes, 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 sure.
Right. Right. What are the prerequisites of trying? Because you mentioned that
Yeah,
you talk
visual.
to the person.
Yeah, we talk to the person, and we understand what is the issues are.
Okay. Okay.
Most importantly is that person has to be visual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when if I'm
When
describing
you
you
say,
thing,
yeah, visual, what do you mean?
so when I'm describing you something,
Okay. Okay. You
immediately
should
that
be
whole
able to-
picture is in
Right.
front of you.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That is how
Okay.
it is.
I'd
That
love
is
to
important.
try one day.
Please, please,
But-
you're most welcome.
But would it scare me a bit to go
Nothing,
back?
no
I'm
scaring.
little scared though.
No, there. So this is a kind of a myth people have that it is scary. Nothing is like that scary. Like I have clients now who,
Okay.
and my teacher who has taught
How
me.
much do you charge? Right.
Not on the camera.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for sharing this. I don't know how people will perceive this, but I really wanted it to be out there. But having said that, the last couple of questions that I have, I'm really sorry I'm taking much of your time. I wanted to talk about parenting, and why I want to talk about parenting is because, one second, there's this number that I've written, right? So I wanted to talk about parenting. First things first, there are lots of parenting issues everyone are facing these days. Almost everyone, 90% of them are facing. And in the last couple of decades, right now, where teens are, teen anxiety. Yeah, and coming to last couple of decades, according to the statistics that I've researched, teens anxiety have increased by 150%.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to understand what is the right way of parenting in today's date and why are teens or children in general more disconnected from their parents. I want to understand that, and what is your solution?
So what I have been able to actually analyze and read.
Do you also counsel parents? Do you
Parents also,
okay,
yes,
coach
yes,
parents? Okay.
yeah, parents.
Okay.
So important was to understand that what kind of a generation of parent are we dealing with. The teenage parents which we are dealing with today would have come when they were children and their parents were there. They were probably not that, like in the society that time was not having so much of abundance as we have today.
Okay.
So whatever they lacked, they started to give in to their children.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right.
I wanted this toy and I couldn't get it, so I'll buy for my child. So in that course, they have over pampered their children. But today, the next generation who have come today, the millennials who are now becoming parents, they are very wise again. They are taking the children in a way that they know, okay, this is good for them and this is not good for them.
Okay. Okay.
There are schools now based on that. There's so much of now exposure. So many books have been written on parenting. We have parenting coaches now, which was not there. They were not guided at all.
Right.
But one thing which I want to highlight today here is about blaming the parents of that generation by the millennials.
It's happening.
They are blaming any damn thing, any depression which they are having, any mental problem that they are having, anything which they are having to their parents. And it is a very, very safe thing that they think they are doing. That I am having relationship problems.
No, now that you mentioned, I'm recollecting people who have heard complaining.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes. If I'm having relationship issues today, it is because my parents didn't have good relationship. If I am today a introvert, probably my parents didn't want me to go all out and I became an introvert. If today I am, whatever I am today is because my parents were not good parents. And so whatever they are starting to blame, they are blaming everything on the parents. Which is, at that moment, the parents did not had an,
Had that kind of
handbook
exposure.
and handbook of parenting.
Right.
And today also, if you see that every individual is different, every child is different. So even if you have a handbook, you cannot say, okay, this will work for my child. Because every child is born different.
Right.
But blaming very conveniently is very wrong. Today you give yourself a benefit of doubt because you say I am different. So how can people expect me to be perfect, or how can this person expect me to be like this? But then how are you not giving that kind of benefit of doubt to your parents? So that is one thing which we have to really understand, that now that you are adults, you have all the resources, you need to now process your emotions. You have to understand that, okay, this is my nature, even if it is because of my parents, but how can I now transform it? You have all the resources. So now don't be just that blamer. Start to work on yourself. And that is the solution for today.
Wow. Many people will get hurt after listening to this, I'm sure. And then coming to the anxiety that teenagers have today, or the disconnect that teenagers have today, I want to ask that question to you.
Yes, that is again, disconnect is because we are so much virtual. Everything is happening so virtual.
Okay.
No? Teaching, that everything has become virtual in teaching also. Your games are virtual, you are not going out to play. And when you are on screen all the time, you are not getting that physical touch which you would have got when you would have pet your dog or hugged your mother or your sibling or shake hands with your friends. Everything is happening online. And that is a preferred thing. And with the AQI rising so high, people don't want their children to go out any which ways.
Right.
So it is a cumulative effect of all of that. So that is building up that anxiety. And then again, that validation comes in, which social media has just put inside everybody. How many likes for one post? How many comments for one post? We wait for that. So that builds the anxiety.
Right. You know, one since you're here, I'll take this privilege of asking you. Can you give us any top 3 tips for parents? For young parents now, any 3 tips on parenting?
So young parents are, as I said, very, very wise. They are doing yoga even before the children are born. They are listening to the good music. They are listening to the religious books so that the children are born, everything good. But again, are we working on ourselves?
Okay. So the tip number 1 would be to
work on yourself as to how I can bring about that change as a human. A parent is a human first. So am I going to be a good human? Then I may automatically be a good parent. So work on yourselves as to what are my core values that I want to give to my child.
Right.
So if I can cultivate those values in me, automatically I will pass on that to my child. Right? Second is, we say that okay, I'm eating good, but watch on that what you are eating, because what you are eating, what you are consuming in terms of the screen time, in terms of what you're eating physically, or what you're eating or consuming in your talks, everything is being absorbed by the child.
Right.
You do something and you tell your child something else, that will not work. And third,
So that's leading with an example.
Yes, you have to lead by example. And third point is most important, is to have that time spending with your children. Connect with them. Even if it is for some time, but you need to connect with them.
Right.
Yeah. Listen to them. They have so much to share, so please listen to them.
Right. You know, since we have spoken about all this, this is this last question that I asked to all of my guests before we wrap up the podcast, and that's, what do you think life is all about? What, according to you, is life?
So life is something which has purpose. No, without purpose there is no life. Life is something which is creating some value. Because without creating some value, then there is no life.
Wow.
And life, I must say, is what is. So I since my childhood, I had my philosophy, like a quote which I had given to myself, which was, serve to live and die to live again.
Wow. All right, on that note, I'll wrap this podcast. Thanks for your most precious time. I know I've taken a lot of your time today. But having said that, before we leave, what we do is we do this philanthropic aspect with my guests. What I do is I have written 4 dares, philanthropic dares. And the reason why is because I don't want to limit the impact of this podcast within the studio and releasing it and people watching it. I also want to go out and do something good for the society, and you are obviously in for it, I'm sure.
Yes.
But having said that, I have here 4 written dares for you. You'll have to pick a number from between 1 to 4, and whichever number you pick, something is written there, and we will be doing that. That would be your dare, and I'll be accompanying you while you do the dare. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, your turn. Pick between 1 to 4.
3.
Okay, it says donate food to underprivileged children.
Yes.
Right. So the next time, whenever you have time, let me know.
Yes.
We will both schedule it according to it,
Sure.
and we'll go down to a underprivileged place,
Right.
and we'll try to do something good for the
Sure,
society.
sure. Thank you
so
all
much.
for it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this is a gift.
Oh, thank you. Is it captured? Thank you. Thank you so much. and I'll definitely rate it and I'll get back to you on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was really wonderful. And may your all the podcasts just be very, very successful in 2026.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes.
much.